Yeah, right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm really nervous about getting too close because he does have a video camera system on it. Around his TV, he's got like 6 monitors, and I've been meaning to call him and hook up an overnight here. But last I talked to him was before the holidays, and he wanted us to wait till after the holidays, and I just got locked up with work.
So what about this house?
It's the old Capt Mott House. He lived here with another family, the Whitworths, and they had 2 daughters that were murdered. And Captain Mott's deathbed curse was that he would not rest until the bodies and the murderer were found. They never found the little girls' bodies. So the legend is that the bodies are still here on the property somewhere, probably down in the well. There is a well in the back. So we can get a little closer, I guess. Let's converge on the place. Maybe he'll come out.
What state?
Yeah. It's listed. I called him a couple of times, and we just never could get a good day scheduled, and I wound up tied up in all these jobs I've been working.
We're all approaching with caution. Everybody's afraid to get
We're like the living
shotgun out.
Yeah, we're like the living dead. I'm sure he's gonna look at his video monitor and see all these people out here.
Yeah, he's got one too, doesn't he? Probably.
Yeah, right there. See it?
Where's the monitor?
Right above the front door, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah. There's one right above the glass there.
Yeah, he's got like
This is a huge house. I mean,
it
it's
is
big.
It's very big.
There's a store built onto it too.
You see that room up there above? That's like a fenced-in porch that actually has a lot of finches. He's got like 20 cages full of finches.
Yeah, I see the cages in there too. Yeah. Oh wow! So he just lets them fly loose in there too. I'm sure.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
So what's the story on this place again?
Well, it was the house that was shared by Captain Mott and the Whitworth family, and the 2 Whitworth girls were murdered, and their bodies were never found. And Captain Mott's deathbed curse was that he would not rest until these bodies and the murderer were found and brought to justice.
And when was this? Like year timeline?
Like around the turn of the century. But since then, I mean, this house is in a few books.
Okay. Is this the original house?
Mm-hmm.
It is. Okay.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And it was built about the same time as the murder house, just slightly before 1900, from what I understand.
Wow, it stood the test of time. Huh?
Oh yeah. Now this one's not as pretty because it's had the commercial, retail area built onto it, and
yeah, it doesn't have all that neat woodwork either.
Yeah.
All the intricate pillars and staircase.
This part of town was not as upscale as the other either. That was the red light district we were in at the murder house.
Oh, okay.
This area was more of a, common residential area. Any minute now, he's going to come outside. I might have some explaining to do. I don't know. There's a lot of us to invite in. I don't know how you do that.
You see the one at the front.
As long as he doesn't come out with a shotgun.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't want any shotgun stick out there.
Yeah, but it is a pretty house, and he's done a lot with it. He bought it for like $50,000, and it was actually caved in the middle.
Yeah.
A tree behind the house had blown over and fallen on the house and kind of crunched in the roof.
Yeah. Now you've been in the house, huh? How many rooms is this house?
It's got a lot. It's actually like 2 houses. I mean, downstairs is a living room, bedrooms, kitchen. Upstairs is a living room, you know, bedrooms and a kitchen. It actually has a kitchen upstairs too.
Oh, wow. Man.
Yeah. So when we were here, he pretty much stayed downstairs with his friends while we stayed upstairs.
Yeah.
And the attic is fairly large too. There's actually an apartment built into the attic where
wow.
Captain Mott lived.
Did you get to go up and see that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So right now he's using it as storage.
Mhm.
Not much of a living area, but
So that it
the
still
old-
exists though.
oh
there.
yeah, the old bed and everything's still up
Oh
there.
man, the bed and everything.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be. And you've had footage of that, probably in pictures. That'd be awesome to be able to
Yeah,
see, go in and
I
look
know.
at the artifacts. You know,
I know.
they're still there.
but we got that great EVP, and I sure wish I still had it.
Well, that was
Where
at
did
this
that?
house.
And where were you set up upstairs? At the
Well,
time?
like I said, we had several mics wired into one board, and the mics were spread out because they were
And
all
there was
going
no
into.
one in the house but you at the
Well,
time.
no, there was like about 5 or 6 of us,
Mhm.
but we were all pretty much, you know,
Yeah.
centrally
It
located.
wasn't occupied either at the time, was it?
No.
Okay.
And I mean, that EVP was just chilling. It made the hair stand up on my neck.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it was like, let me out of here.
Somebody's still stuck in there, huh?
Mm-hmm. But that's like the best EVP I ever got, and it got lost.
Does this guy? I mean, I guess you know him. Has he ever said that he's seen anything weird
Yeah.
happen in the house?
Yeah, him and his friends were. It's actually been about 2 years since I've talked to him. I talked to him on the phone a few months ago. We were gonna set up something, but his schedule and my schedule just never matched. But yeah, him and his friends have seen like shadows moving around. One guy said he saw a figure in white actually run down the hallway. And I was like, okay, a figure in white, what do you mean? He said, well, it was like they were wearing all white. Like, I said, was it a man or a woman? I couldn't tell. It was just a figure in white, and it ran down the hallway. And then other times they'll be watching TV, they say, and, you know, out of the corner of their eye, they see stuff moving around. And like I firsthand witness, I had that spotlight thrown clear across the attic at me, and it hit me in the leg.
There's still something not at rest in there.
Right. That's the one and only time I've ever seen anything remotely poltergeist. So this is a very interesting house, and maybe someday I can get
Set
us
something up where you'll.
overnight again.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's worth a stop though and a look. Y'all should be taking some pictures. You never know what you get.
You got the camera. and you
That's
took
mainly
some
what
pictures,
this
didn't
is tonight, a
I did.
photo op.
Yeah, I did take several pictures.
But this house is in several books.
you? In the library, you can probably find it too.
Oh yeah, or just do a Google search on Captain Mott.
Captain Mott. How's it spelled?
M-O-T-T, like the jam.
M-O-T-T.
Uh-huh. And Galveston. Be sure and put Galveston in there.
Captain Mott.
Once again, you've brought us to a location with strange neighbors.
Oh yeah, and by the way, right across the street is Karn's Funeral Home.
No,
Yeah.
no, there's a funeral home across the street.
Yeah.
Once again, we have strange neighbors.
But you know, that funeral
And if-
home is fairly recent. I mean, I'd say within the last, it was
But-
built in 95, I think.
But I've noticed at every location there have been new renovation, esoterica, the funeral home, houses for sale, really close by.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the real estate market here is like here.
Real estate market here is shaky at best.
I thought that was kind of curious.
Property values are low for what they are, but nobody around here has the money to buy. So a lot of out-of-towners wind up buying land. But yeah, you're right. Around a lot of these locations.
Church. There's an outreach center in the strip mall connected to the house.
Yep. You are correct, sir. You are very correct. Well, I was thinking from here we can just head back towards IHOP, and behind there is the big cemetery, Lakeview Cemetery, which is open. It doesn't have any gates. So we can pull in there and shoot some photo and kind of wind down. And we'll wrap up there. There's more. There's so much more I want to show everybody, but we have too many people, too many cars for some of the spots that I'd really like to see tonight. So what we'll have to do, you know, maybe we'll take turns, work something out, and get small groups together and come back down here and do some real exploring. It's like I was telling Irma, the apartment complex that I grew up in when I was real little, out in the East End over on Holiday Drive. It's been the scene of many, many murders, suicides, fires. I found if you follow tragedy, you'll get something. It may not always be a ghost, but you'll get something. And, you know, that apartment complex is tragic. But we have way too many people tonight.
Did Captain Mott have a brother?
Did he have a brother? It's possible. I could check.
Your brother.
Well,
And I didn't listen to you because I didn't want it to.
he lived here with the Whitwer family, which had kids. 2 girls, namely. I don't know if there was a brother, but the 2 girls were murdered here on the property, and their bodies were hidden away. And his deathbed curse was he would not lay at rest until the bodies and the murderer were brought to justice. Now, there is a large well in the back, and the legend is that the bodies are down in the well. Yeah. But that is an excavation beyond my scope. I'm not going back there, and I'm not looking for any bodies. So I guess
you're
he's
not gonna go
dead.
delving down in the well, huh?
He may not even own the place anymore. It's been a solid 6 months since I talked to him. He used to have a large Cadillac parked right here. So it may have different owners now. But I do remember he had the birds, so I'm sure that means he's still here.
Maybe he's on vacation.
Could be. Yeah. Or maybe he's sitting on his couch watching us.
Hey, this is
What are those
off
people
topic,
doing?
But I'm just curious about since you live down here and everything.
Yeah.
You know, on the seawall, now you turn left on 64th, past the Holiday Inn and everything. There's some dwellings there that look like they were military housing or something.
They were.
That's what that was.
That's Coast Guard housing.
That's what. How
And
long has that been dilapidated and shut down like that?
It's actually, I don't think it is shut down. I think they're still
No,
using
it's
it.
boarded
It's
up.
Really?
boarded up and
You
you
can
can't get in there.
It's vacant. Yeah.
Oh,
it's-
okay.
And you can
vacant.
tell where there's been a fire.
Yeah,
and-
well, see what you have to understand, the San Luis Hotel right across from where IHOP is,
Yeah.
the big fancy one on the hill,
Yeah.
that hill is Fort Crockett. It was an old gun embankment where they had the 2 anti-aircraft guns
Yeah.
mounted during, I think, World War II was the last active duty they saw. But once the war was over, they removed the guns and filled it in.
Yeah.
And the JCs had a kick-ass haunted house down there one year. It was great.
Yeah.
But they wound up really sealing the place off because there was just too much vandalism and cult activity. I mean, you go in there, there's pentagrams painted on the wall and everything.
Inside that housing, what I'm talking about?
Well, no, inside the bunker,
Yeah,
Fort
inside the
Crocker.
bunker. Yeah. I was gonna
Fort
say.
Crockett.
Yeah.
Well, right next door to that is the base
The
housing.
base housing. Okay.
Right, and that's what you saw.
How long has that been?
They built
How
the
old are
San
those
Luis.
places?
I think they built the San Luis in the mid '80s. I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that stuff's been shut down for a while.
I would assume so. Yeah.
It seems a little
Well, I know as late
treacherous
as like
area.
'95. I moved out of here in '98, and when I moved out, they were just starting to kind of close that housing off.
Yeah. It's
So-
definitely shut down. I was wondering. That's what it looks like. We said it had to be military housing.
Right. That's a very interesting spot too.
I
That
bet you
and
there's been a lot of bad crap go on there.
oh yeah, and yeah, the cult activity alone. I mean, that's got to bring some kind of energy to the
That
place,
brings bad energy.
for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, most cultists don't know how to cook with a microwave.
That's true. That's
Hey,
true.
What about the Walmart here? Have you heard anything on that?
Yeah, have you heard
Walmart?
that story?
I read it, and I have a book that has it in there.
Mm-hmm. About the The garbage
Toy.
bags winding up, hanging from the rafters.
And the toy aisle.
Mhm.
Like
Toy aisle,
they go through
Well,
and take everything up, and then
the
it all
story
goes
is
back out in the,
that Walmart's built on the site of Old St. Mary's Orphanage
right.
that was washed out to sea during the 1900
and they
storm.
tied all the kids together to not lose them during the storm, and then they all drowned.
Something like,
Yeah.
200
Wait,
kids
that
and
was the-
6
Where
nuns.
they were all upstairs.
Huh?
I don't
They
know
were
where
all
they Were. It didn't
upstairs.
say. It just said that they had tied them all together
I remember.
to keep track of
They
everybody,
tied all the
and then
children
they ended
together,
up all drowning.
and there were lengths of children, like a dozen or so, and there was a nun on each side or something like that. And they were all upstairs, and all the picture windows were busted out, and they were all there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
They
where the
say that
Walmart,
Walmart
is
And
is
now.
there's
haunted.
Walmart's there now.
Yeah,
Goodness.
that's where Walmart is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now there's stories of Walmart being haunted.
Yeah,
Go
well, it's in
figure,
one of
huh?
my books.
Mhm.
The Walmart is. There's a lot of stuff in there from down here.
See, I think, honestly, every inch of Galveston has a ghost story.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Every inch of it,
There's
at
just so much
least.
It's all been
history here.
underwater. Yes.
Yeah,
Well, just
exactly.
the flood alone, took so many lives before their time,
Right, right.
Interesting enough.
Well, I
Alright,
say we
so-
head out to the cemetery
How do we
behind
get there
IHOP.
from here?
So y'all know where we're going?
No. Well, I don't know.
We need to go back to 53rd, back to where we came from. This is Avenue L. It's not a bad way to go all the way to 53rd. You can avoid Broadway and the heavy traffic and everything.
Okay, just straight down to 53rd.
Yeah, and
Take a left.
straight down to, 53rd, make a left and go back up towards the seawall. You'll pass the church and then right in that area, I'm trying to think, actually,
Can we meet back up in the IHOP parking lot? Is that too far a walk?
yeah, we could do that and take a break. Everybody run in and use the bathroom.
That's a good idea.
If they're still open.
I was gonna say, I really gotta go.
Okay, so let's meet back at IHOP. You see that flagpole right there?
Uh-huh.
Now, one night back in the 80s, I pulled in here late at night. Do we have company?
Well, I hope all the rest of them find us.
Oh, there's more?
That's Chris.
I thought we lost everyone. Yeah. Well, one night back in the 80s, I pulled in here, and it was storming. I mean, a storm just broke out. It started pouring down rain, thunder, lightning. And I was like, oh, great. So I got in the car, rolled the windows up. I'm just sitting here for a minute. All of a sudden, crash! A bolt of lightning hit that flagpole, and I wasn't like 10 feet away from it. The hair on my neck just stood straight up.
Oh my God.
This whole cemetery lit up. I mean, just lit up like daylight for about 30 seconds, and then it was dark again. Just crazy. Sparks shot off that pole.
Wow. That would freak you out.
I wonder if anybody rumbled in their grave when that happened. Oh, I do.
No, I look fat in video.
That's funny. Where'd everyone go? Yeah, it's probably pretty stagnant. Yeah, there's all kinds of pond sliders in there.
What is that? Snake?
Turtles.
Oh.
Red-eared pond
Nasty.
sliders. I used to find them all the time when I drove the taxi here.
Oh, you take it home?
So I'd bring them here and turn them loose. Put them in the pond. Mm-mm. The old part's over there. That's where they all went. Elevator. Open. Did you see that?
You can go in?
Yeah, you can actually get in it.
No, I don't want to go in there. Are the bodies actually in there?
Yeah.
Doesn't even look like out here. What are those pipes
What pipes?
right there?
Well, those are vent tubes.
Those for what? So they can breathe?
Yeah. Well, actually, they were going to build a water fountain out here.
Oh.
And those are water pipes for the fountain. They never did, though. Put your ear up to it and you can...
No,
can
hear
stuff.
what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna get scared tonight.